well, I teach 4th grade everything, and I have 31 kids. He teaches 3rd grade. How many kiddos do you have?
37, 38.
2 different groups. In what ways could we best address the engineering design portion of the next generation science standards? That was kind of our goal. That was what we were looking for when we started to write our grant. And so we purchased engineering as elementary kits. We purchased actually 6 kits, and we purchased those because with a bunch of kids in your class and trying to teach everything, you don't have a lot of time to come up with good lessons and hands-on things for every lesson every day. So this, we were hoping that this would help us to do that. We also wanted to talk about how in the past the standards were mainly content, and now in the standards there are engineering standards. So it has to be addressed. It's not something that you can just choose not to do. So those are across all grade levels, and the kits we bought do that, which is great. Academic advantages, of course it meets the standards. The kits we got can really be adjusted for any grade level, so 1st grade teachers could go pull a kit. 2nd grade, I mean, you have to do a little work with it, but they can meet all grade levels. It is not standalone though. You can't just go get a kit and say, I'm teaching science. Because they have to know a little bit first. So my kit that I'm working on, I'm not finished a kit yet. We are doing, it's about cleaning up an oil spill, but they had to know about plants, and they have to know about animals, and they have to know about ecosystems before you can even start the kit. It integrates everything. There's literature that goes with each kit. There's, of course, science. There's math. And then usually the books also integrate social studies in there and real life stuff like pollution. Lots of it is hands-on, and it is project-based, so the kids love it. Anything you want to add to this?
Another thing is it fits into all the disciplinary core ideas. So, you know, if you're going to teach a unit on magnets, you're going to teach your regular unit, but you can also fit in this kit. So it's going to fit into everything, and they have all kinds of them. They have at least 12. We were only able to purchase 6 of them, and that's more than enough for us currently because it takes so long to get through them. But it's a real hands-on, minds-on approach. I mean, the kids are really into it. They're really getting through all of it. So.
And as far as this 21st century learning skills, it's real life. Right? They have to work in teams. They have to problem solve. They have to, if something doesn't go right, they have to change it and do it again. It includes all subjects. They have to communicate with each other. They have to share their ideas with their classmates. In the end, if you come up with a design, the whole class gets together and talks about each group's designs, and then you go in and you talk about, well, how can we change this? How can we make it better? So it's real life. We got a stick in the mud evaluating a landscape. We got an alarming idea, designing alarm circuits. To get to the other side where they build bridges, now you're cooking, they actually create a solar oven. A slick solution, cleaning an oil spill, that's what I'm working on. And the attraction is obvious, designing maglev systems, and that's what his class already finished. What are you working on right now?
We are working on an alarming idea, designing alarm circuits. Real quick, I'm going to talk about the attraction is obvious. That's a unit that we actually got through and everything, and the students spent time learning about magnets and then designing their own maglev system. And maglev stands for magnetic levitation, and I have a few of their projects that they actually created. I can pass them around. They did all of it. They planned the track, they planned the vehicle that designs the marbles. Their limitations were the supplies that they had. They had to take magnets and foam and cups, I mean, just not a lot of products, and create something that levitates from one side to the other and carries these marbles. So they actually had to apply what they had learned about magnets into, let me get on the other side of this, into this whole thing. So it was really a project-based, everything that we learned about, they were putting it and applying it to their project later on. And it's really neat, especially, I mean, just the way that they got into it. At first they're like, okay, this is magnets, this is cool, but then when they really started to design that project and get into it, it was amazing. This was just kind of the impact that we had, just kind of my test, pre-test and post-test results and just how they did. And they really increased because of that hands-on learning. And they really got to understand attraction, repulsion, got to understand magnetic field, magnetic forces. So it's just really neat how they really got into what magnets are and how they act. And this is a video real quick. It's working.
Yay!
And there's 4 lessons in every kit, and this is kind of some of their lessons. The first one was exploring magnetic properties, so I'm just going to let the video play.
You got Charlie's card here, Mike?
An engineer is something that uses technology or something else to figure out a problem. The engineering design process. The engineering design process is ask, imagine, plan, right? Create, and approve. Whenever north and north stick together, they go like because they're repelling, and when south and north are together, they go like that because they're attracting. And not so good. It was wibbly wobbly, and it was like flips and just looked bad. And plus, the magnets were literally attracting instead of repelling. I messed up and I put north and south for the track and north and south for the vehicle. Well, one side it went down and the other side stayed up. Make your design and converter test out. It did take us a while to finish, but it was fun. It levitated down the track and carried 8 kilometers.
So as you saw, they did have some problems. And the engineering design process is something that engineering in elementary came up with. It was their process of how did they want elementary students going through this. And so you saw with kids, they knew the process. They had to ask questions. They had to imagine what are some solutions to this. They had to plan. And we had, they drew designs. They created their designs. And then they created, well, what happens when you create and it doesn't work? They went back and they worked on it and they had to improve. And that was probably the hardest part for them, was understanding it's not going to work the first time. Because really, like as you saw the one, it went wibbly wobbly and just tumbled. And a lot of them did that because they had to understand, well, I have to check my magnets first. And so they're used to that instant gratification of, here it is, it's done, it's working. But so they had to go back and fix it. So that's all of our
And they
presentation.
came to share with my class too, which made my class excited about what we were doing, and it was good for them because little kids, they're younger than my 4th graders, but they got to come in and show what they had accomplished, and they were very proud.
3rd grade. And are there any questions or anything?
Can I get a picture of you all together? Part of that.
Oh.
Might be in the live.